copy of today's recording. Now, remember what I said, I will turn it off for the Q&A at the end, but still ask questions in between because I do want to respond to those. If it's lengthy or personal or very much detailed, I will save it to the end and be respectful of everyone's time. All right? All right, then let's go ahead and dive in. Today, we're going to be talking about make better business decisions with Google Analytics. If you want to learn anything that Google can teach or train you with, or your Google partner can support you with, if you'll go to grow.google/smallbusinesses, plural, then you'll see everything that we can train on. Again, remember, if you are tweeting or posting, you'll use this hashtag grow with Google. It will let all your friends know that you're leveling up your skills. It'll also let the Google team know that this matters to you, and it encourages them to create more, which I love free training that we can bring to our partners to deliver to you. And of course, if you need closed caption, our wonderful Michelle is at this URL. She'll help you. If you are tweeting or posting, this is my Twitter handle down here. This is me on Instagram. Feel free to tag me or to use the hashtag. I will definitely retweet you, repost, or share you in my story. Happy to do that and get you a little bit more visibility too. Okay, so we're all about visibility, right? So let's talk about how we can make those better business decisions. Hello, hello, I see you, Jane. I see you, Jenny. All right, let's go. Let me see. There we go. We know that data is everywhere right now. It's easy to get a hold of. All you need to do is Google it, right? Just Google it and you're all set. The thing is what information is truly relevant to what you're doing? What will help you make better decisions? So we know that insights are really important. And when I say insights, they need to be novel first. It needs to be something very unique to your business. They need to be credible. So getting insights from two people and two people saying this is the way all people who are 55 and above think is not enough. That's not enough size for just two people to say that. So it needs to be credible. It needs to be enough people doing it. It also needs to come from credible sources. If it came from two people that actually are family members of your competitors, that may not be all the right things. Electrical contractor in Bixby, Oklahoma. Dana, I see you. Thank you. And you need to also be able to take action on it. Taking action on it is key because it's great to know all this info, but it doesn't mean that it's anything that you can apply to help you grow your business. Let me teach you my first phrase for the day, which is knowledge is not power. I do not believe in that phrase. Knowledge is only powerful when it is applied. And the same thing with insights. How can you apply it? Because you can know great factoids and be great at trivia. Let's say you're playing a trivia game or Trivial Pursuit, but it doesn't mean that you can apply it to help grow your business. So when we're using data, there are different terms to keep in mind. First is, what is data actually? It's those facts and statistics, right? But analytics starts showing us patterns. So for example, let's say we see all these people who visited our site, and analytics lets us know that of the people visiting our site, 90%, so a good amount, that's the majority, are coming in on a mobile device. That shows us a pattern and a trend. But the insights are what we do that actually applies that knowledge, applies that data and those analytics, and we look at insights. What can we do? So if we know 90% are coming in on a mobile device, then our insight should be that everything that we do on our site needs to be mobile friendly and mobile responsive first and foremost. Doesn't matter what it looks like on a desktop or a laptop, because that's only 10%. We've got to get the majority of people and meet them where they're at, okay? So we can use this instead of gut instincts. I know gut instincts have gotten you where you need to go. I come from small business. I started a small business over 18 years ago. It was just me, myself, and I was butcher, baker, and candlestick maker. But what happened then is I grew it from there, making some key decisions. Some were good that I did on gut instincts. Some were gut instincts that served me 5 years before. And then all of a sudden now, they weren't getting me to the next level. So what got you here may not get you to the next level that you need to go to. Today, we're going to be talking about Google Analytics. Let me know in the question box. Are you currently using Google Analytics? If so, just put the number 1. If not, put the number 2. So I'd love to know. Find answers with reports. There's lots of reports in analytics. It's rich with data and analytics, but you need to be able to pull the insights from there. Okay, I see it. 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so far we're neck and neck. I know I have no idea. No worry. No worry. I'm going to help you. All right. No worries. I see a lot of people not to worry. Again, for those of you who are using analytics, this is going to be real helpful to make sure that you've set it up correctly. For those of you who haven't, I am not going to text speak to you. That is not what I do. That's part of the reason why all the trainers actually come from a small business background, because we've done all the heavy lifting ourselves, and we know this as somebody who also has to take care of customers as well as fulfill products and go pick up the kids. Okay, so also what the advanced features are, how you can use and tap those to help some good decisions and know a little bit more about your customer. Then again, how to use it even better. And then I always end with recaps and resources that are 100% free. So let me clear any misconceptions right now. Everything that I'm talking about is 100% free. This is free, available to you through your free personal Gmail account or your free Google account. You do not have to have a paid Google Workspace or anything like that. You have access to this already free, but most people don't know how to tap into it or to optimize it. So let's talk about Google Analytics. All right, great. Thank you, everybody, for letting me know. We do have a lot of people who don't have a lot of Google Analytics experience here. Not to worry. Use that question box. It's your friend to slow me down in case you want me to cover everything or anything again. And because you've commented in the question box, you will get a copy of today's recording. So you can slow me down or speed me up as you need to, right? Or re-listen to anything. So Google Analytics is free. And what it does is it measures and tracks what people are doing on your site. This is a chance for you to get to know your customer better, their decision journey, and their customer journey as they go through and analyze different things. This is really you becoming an expert in your customer. If you have a website, you need to utilize Google Analytics, because this is giving you the true personal information about your customer. Do they come in on this page and then do they go visit another page? Do they go off and go look for social proof on one of the social networks? Do they go visit your competitor's site? You can see all of those rich insights within Google Analytics. But that's what it's for. Imagine if you had a retail store, right? And you heard me say earlier that I used to work many, many moons ago. I mean, this is decades ago when I worked with the Bay City HEB. It was really important to us as we watched people come and shop. You would see people all morning long go into aisle 1 and aisle 4 and then just leave. They wouldn't pick anything up. They were just kind of window shopping, kicking tires, 1, 4, 1, 4, over and over and over again. But then all of a sudden about 12:30, you would see people go from aisle 1 to aisle 3 to aisle 4, and they would grab something. They always left with a full basket. So it makes you wonder, is it the people who come in the afternoon who are the ones who are going to buy? Is there something on aisle 3 that really encourages them to buy whatever's on aisle 4 too? What is it about them? And get to know them better, because our job as business people is to be experts on our customer. We need to know what they need. We need to know what their decision process is. We need to really be very intimate with understanding their journey. Be an expert in your customer. Google Analytics can help you do that. It actually delivers what search terms people are searching you for. You know, a lot of times we get stuck in our own industry lingo and we think that's the way people search. I had somebody say that to me today. I was working and actually speaking live to a group of realtors here. In fact, I'm in West Texas right now, so there's a humongous dust storm going on. So if I look dusty, if I cough, it's because dust is coming off my hair. Not that Oklahoma would know about dust storms, right? But I have been just through an amazing dust storm, and I actually had to rinse out my contact lenses. But one of the search terms that they thought people look for a real estate agent was house buying facilitator. And I guaranteed them, I don't think anybody's looking for that. I think they're asking for what their credit score is, what do they need as far as down payment for a house, what's required for on-the-job time for a first home, what is actually somebody looking for, or what do they need if, you know, if let's say I'm going through a divorce and I need to find out what I need to do next. My baby is going off and I'm all of a sudden going to have some space. They're looking for different things and not that particular term. So get away from your lingo, because we become experts at that, but also we become tunnel vision towards that. And think about how people search. And if you don't know, I'll show you how to know. Okay. One of the ways, though, is talking to your customers, and it's okay to have a conversation with them instead of just wanting to have a convo to sell something to them. You can have a conversation and find out how they search. If you don't have customers yet, talk to people who already do business with your competitors and find out how they search. All right, let me see here. No worries, no worries. Chase, I see you, Chase. Renica, I see you here. Amanda, perfect. Philip. Can use Google Analytics to please share how our, yes, absolutely. I will talk about that in just a moment, okay? All right, so we can also see demographic information. And Philip, actually that helps you in designing your ads. Let's say I was selling pizza, you know, if I'm selling pizza to college age students, I might say, it's pizza party time and you want to get that keg ready to go. It's time to have a blast and just have fun with your friends. Compared to an ad, if I was after somebody who had maybe 3 children, a family, they've been established in their position for 10 years, it could be, would you like to put more weekend in your week and get a pizza? Now you don't have to worry about, after a day of being on video calls, you can just not have to stress out about having pizza. So you see how having that demographic information helps you tailor the message. Your message needs to be so focused on your target market, the best people who give you the most pleasure and profit to do business with. It needs to be so focused that when they see your message, they think, oh my gosh, they get me. That's what you want. Understand what content also works. You need to know, do they watch video? Do they watch all of the video? Long video, short form video? Do they read all the text? Do they read your blog post? Are they looking at the photos of your products? Are they reading about your team? Or reading about your brand and how you position yourself as an expert at what you do? And then what channels work? Because a lot of times we do it by gut instinct, or we look at vanity metrics like, oh my gosh, I got 1,000 impressions over there in my Instagram reel. Well, that's great. How many of that actually got business for you? Do you know how many people, when 1,000 people see you on Instagram, actually click through on the bio link to your site, and how many there, what do they do on your site, and do they actually purchase or convert? So you're going to hear me use the words a lot, saying convert. Convert is just a successful action that you want them to do on your site. It could be to watch a video, download a PDF, leave their email address. It could be to pay for something too, fill out a form. Those are considered conversion actions. You take somebody over here, you're sending them over there either with an ad or a post or content on your site, and you want them to do something which helps you recognize this is somebody that may be within your target audience and somebody that you want to do business with. Okay, so do know that a lot of people will balk at having to look at a target audience. I'm not saying that you can't do business with anybody, everybody, and somebody. You certainly can, but if that's who you target, you'll get their second cousin, nobody. That's too wide, okay? That doesn't mean we can't serve everybody, but do know who gives you the most pleasure and profit and really is your bread and butter target, and everybody else is just gravy. So this is how you find Google Analytics. If you'll go to g.co/analytics, and I will move my cursor of actually that little laser pointer out of the way if you want to take a screenshot. Again, you will get a copy of today's webinar plus a copy of the slides, but it will not be for 24 hours later, okay? Because it takes that long for us to render that, because the system is used by all the trainers. In fact, I think there's like 18, 19 different webinars happening today at the same time. So it's going to go ahead and take some time to get that recording to you, but it'll send you a copy of the recording, and I will also attach the slides so I'm not flooding your inbox, okay? But you may want to take a screenshot of that just so you can take action right away. Now, do know in October of last year that Google actually changed things up a little bit and launched GA4. It's actually a better version. Some of you may not feel that way, especially if you're used to using UA, which is the Universal Analytics, but GA4 gives you an idea of the well-rounded person. You see everybody, whether they come in on their desktop and then they move over to a mobile, get on their iPad, and then look at their smart TV. Now you're getting the whole look at somebody without having to do a lot of work to do that. So we'll talk more about that. But as you're setting it up, it will walk you through how to do this. Now, if you want, I will show you how you can also set up Universal Analytics. I come from a really strong e-commerce background. I've been involved in international e-commerce for 12 years, operating Shopify stores and several other kind of stores all over the world. And because of that, I also know the importance of still having UA4, Universal Analytics 4, because GA, or Universal Analytics, I'm sorry, not 4, but just Universal Analytics. GA4 is great to know that well-rounded person, but it's not really as robust as it needs to be yet for e-commerce. So I highly encourage people to have both on their sites, and I can show you that in a little while. If you're interested in it, just let me know. All right, so as you start your account, you'll see that there are priority reports that you see right here in your snapshot. You can check to see exactly how your website's doing. You want to know the health of your website, because if it's not loading right, or let's say you have somebody on Facebook and you tell them, or an Instagram, or maybe TikTok in your bio, and you say, you know what, what you're watching are some great videos of my amazing tomato recipe, right? So you take them there, and then they come to your front homepage, because that's the link that you have, and they stay there for less than a minute. 80% of them do. That's an 80% bounce rate. That's what that means. It means in less than a minute, 80% of the people left your site before doing anything. That means there's a disconnect between what they see out here, be it an ad, a post, or content on your site, and what they actually do on your site, because they didn't do anything else, click on anything else, look at a page, do anything, watch a video. That means something's not connecting with them. If you told people you're going to take them to the tomato recipe, then take them to that page. And I know I've sat across from thousands of small businesses who said, but Maria, I'm so excited. They came to my site. I really want to show them everything. The problem is you have not built trust yet. You build trust by doing what you say you're going to do. If you're going to take them to the tomato recipe, take them there. Then you can start earn the right to show them the rest of the site. You can even take them to the tomato recipe and say there are other things they can look at, ways to grow your heirloom tomatoes, ways to do this, different planting things, and you can take them around your site, but earn that right first. Absolutely, you will definitely get both, Emily. No worries, I'm glad you commented there. And then of course you can customize those. So let's take a look about looking at finding answers with reports, right? Because when we start looking at the analytics, it's gonna start getting questions in our minds. So we're gonna start having those pop up. Let's take Eva and Ricky, for example. So I'm gonna give you an example of what they do. They're store shop owners. They are very much in business. They've been in business for a few years now, and they want to know exactly how people are shopping their site, because they launched their site during March 2020 when the rest of the world shut down, and all of a sudden they went online, and now they got to figure out what's going on. So by gut instinct, they felt like people would want more t-shirt designs because that's their business. They also felt like they needed to promote their business more and really assist their customers, because they felt like their customers were people that actually had been customers before. And then they also thought maybe they needed to cut price. How many of us have done that, right? Thinking we're gonna have to cut price is how we're gonna bring people in. Without data, it's all guesswork. And remember what I said, that gut may have worked before, but what got you there won't get you to the next level. So what they did first is they outlined their goals. They really needed to know what is it they're trying to achieve, because if you just say more, 1 penny is more, right? It's just out there, it's vague. And then that after they know what they want to achieve, now they know what questions they need to ask, information they need to become expert in their customers and fill the gap to provide them what they need to make a positive decision to do business with them. That will then take you to the reports now that you can take a look at. Now that you know what the questions are, look at the reports that will help you answer those questions about your customers. A lot of times people are overwhelmed when they go in Google Analytics because they want to look at everything. There's a lot of information there. As a data geek, I could spend all day in Google Analytics, but you don't have all day. You've got to take care of customers. So number one is the unsexy part of marketing. Whenever people ask me, Maria, what's the biggest thing that you would tell me as far as the silver bullet of great marketing? I always tell them, it's not sexy at all. It's a lot of hard work. Marketing's hard work, but goal setting is key. And I know they don't want to hear that. Everybody talks about that, right? SBDC, SCORE, any career counselor, everybody talks about goal, but it's goals, and it is about SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. It is all 5 of those, and it has to pass the SMART test. It has to have all 5 components, or if it doesn't, you miss it, and you could miss it by a long shot, really. So keep that in mind. It has to have all 5, not just a portion. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. So let's look at Ricky and Eva's goal. As we look at their goal, they want to decrease cart abandonment rate by 60%. So let me deconstruct that a moment. When somebody's shopping on an actual e-commerce site and they put something in a cart, and they get to the point where maybe they're going to check out, or even to another page, maybe they're looking at different colors or something else to complement it, and they just leave the item in the cart. They leave the site. They don't ever buy. That's what cart abandonment is. If you imagine that in a physical store, it's those grocery carts that you see that, have milk or something in it, just sitting there. Nobody's attending to it because they just abandoned it. So for them to have 60% of the people come to their, who are putting things in cart and they're abandoning it, tells them, ooh, we need to work on this. What's happening that people are abandoning their cart? What aren't we giving them? And if we decrease that, it's more money in their pocket, right? So think about that. What can they do? So, and again, it's in the next quarter. So they're very focused. Let's do a SMART test on that. Is it specific? Absolutely. Cart abandonment rate is something specific, and Google Analytics actually measures for that. Is it measurable? Yes, you can see exactly what your cart abandonment rate is every week. I do. Is it attainable? I don't know, because are they abandoning more than 60% right now, like 80%? So this is maybe a big goal for them to do in one quarter, or are they 100% are abandoning it? So you kind of wonder what's happening at the checkout stand there, or the checkout part of your site, if people are just giving up at that time. Is it relevant? Absolutely. If they can decrease, that means more money in their pocket. Is it time sensitive? Yes, next quarter. So for you, your goals of what you want your website to do for you, are every single goal smart tested? Look at your goals with your leads. Did you just say, I want more leads this quarter? One new lead, that's more, but that might not be what you have in mind. If it could be sales, one penny is more, but that might not be what you have in mind. Again, smart test. Is it attainable? I want to make $1 million. Well, great. You made $100 last month. How are you going to make $1 million this month? What are you going to do differently? Because trying to do the same way, and expecting different results is that definition of insanity that we've talked about. So keep those in mind. Your phone calls, your foot traffic, your downloads, smart test everything. I see those businesses that do really, really well with achieving their goals and growing their business, all smart test every single piece, and they don't leave one undone. So now when you do a smart test, you know what those goals are. Now, do you know who your audience is? Remember what I said about looking at the customer that gives you the most pleasure and profit. And if you don't have customers, go out to who already is doing business with your competitors and find out more from them. Also, find out a little bit more about how people engage. Where do they spend time? Do you know your customers? Just because Facebook and Instagram are big, or that everybody's having a blast on TikTok, doesn't mean that's where your customer that's going to convert. Remember what I said conversion is. Convert is that they're doing a success action on your site that you want them to do. It signals to you, or it lets you know that this is a good customer. And are you doing things to keep your customers loyal? It's a lot of money to bring in a new customer. It takes a lot of time, energy, and money. But when you have a customer who already is loyal, somebody who knows you and also introduces you to their circle of influence, there's a lot to be said about loyalty and word of mouth referrals, okay? Which can also happen online in the actual format of reviews. So you see that happen, or somebody actually endorsing or responding to somebody who went out onto social saying, hey, does anybody know somebody who can do this? So as you look at this, perhaps you need to understand your customers, and you need to know who you're reaching. What's the demographic and the psychographics of your best customer right now? I was working with a gentleman who has a dog business, and it's funny because he started his dog business, gosh, maybe about, I think, no, it was 2008 is when Brandon started that. He started his dog business then. He, at the most, I mean, he did really, really well. His first year in e-commerce, he made $100,000. That's great. He has since found out that his best customers are women ages 44 to 54 years old, professionals, usually really busy, crazy schedule. They live in an apartment or in a small area without outside grass or anything, and that is his best customer. And he found out also that his best customer shops at 2 a.m., okay? Even his ads do not show up till 2 a.m. or 1:45, because why waste it on people who are not his best customers? So he was able to make that adjustment and change. And I do know that his business, I mean, we're at halfway point. Yeah, he said he's tracking at halfway point to do 8 million this year. Pretty exciting, right? So know who your audience is, and how do they find you online? Are they asking people? Are they reading online reviews? What are they doing? Google Analytics will help you see exactly what they're doing and where they're coming from, which is what I love. And then what do they do when they find you online? Do they watch the video first? Do they download the PDF? Do they read a full blog post? Do they want to see the About Us? Do they look at your footer to see if you're even in the area? Maybe they want to know your address. What is it that they're doing with? And how are you interacting with them online? How are you giving them opportunities to sample who you are? Then, of course, convert questions. What channels are actually driving conversion? Remember what I said, there's vanity metrics, which are the popularity metrics of, oh, I saw 1,000 people like this, maybe 500 likes, but maybe your goal, so one of your goals, smart testing the goal, is to say that I know that social, let's say, for example, Facebook, Meta, is, that's rented land. So at any time that page can go down, but I really solidify a relationship with my customer when I find out their email address or potential customer. So that's what I do. I know that of every 100 people that like this, what I do on Facebook or Instagram, then I get about 25 of them actually coming to my site. Of the 25 that come to my site, 20 of them will leave their email address. Now, you know that you can say, I want to go from 20 to 25 people who actually come over from a post, and now I can measure that and say, now this is good for business, and it's going to be timely. I'm going to do this next quarter. That is something that is also it is actually relevant, because I know more people come over, more people leave their email address. That's more business I can do business with. So yes, Emily, yes, and I'll share with you how to find me. Okay. But definitely get with a Google partner who invited you, because they've got a lot of resources and they're right there. All right. Now, sustained questions. Do you continue to stay in relationship? Or are you only reaching out to them when you need to sell something new or they need to resubscribe? Do you respond quickly too? This is also important for you to see exactly what's happening. And do people have a reason to return? Maybe like during everything that happened with the lockdown, I saw a lot of plumbers that were showing people how they can make gaskets works on videos now. So people were coming to their website and looking for that, because they weren't letting as many people in the door to their household, not at that time. So look at that, keep in mind and see what are you doing to sustain and keep that relationship going, and actually teach them even how to be referral sources, which is great, because if you can tap into somebody's contact sphere of people who know, like, and trust them and take their advice, you get a halo effect of the level that you come in, because now instead of taking 0 to I don't know you and trust you, all the way over to 100, I know, like, and trust you, now all of a sudden you come at a higher level, because there's some credibility with the person who actually introduced or recommended you or even left a review for you. So for you, example of reports that you can use are real-time reports. I like to use this, actually, Emily, to speak on what you were talking about. I like to use these reports, real-time reports, when I put a post out on any socials, or when I do email marketing, because something just landed in their inbox and I want to in real time see how it's affecting the site. You know, I was working with a business, and they had a new product that was featured on the Today Show, and you could watch it as it was featured in each time zone. You could watch as people would come into their site as it moved across the time zones. Also, acquisition, where are people coming from? Are they coming from, really, is it TikTok, or are they coming from Quora or Reddit? Are they more looking at a newsletter that you wrote and they're coming in this way? Acquisition, the acquisition report actually tells you where people are coming from. And I look at that. I focus on the top 10 things that are not just the best traffic drivers, but also the best conversion. Remember, a success action on your site. How are they interacting? Are they looking at your video? Are they asking for more information? Do they click on the little chat button at the right, the chat bubble? So look at that. What are they purchasing? If you do have purchasing on their site, your site, are they buying a product or something that's more of a digital product or tool? What are they doing? How frequently do they come back? How often? So I look and see who's new users to your site and who comes back. So I also like to see, you know, if I see a person coming in 3 times, so every time they come in, they come 3 times, that's somebody who solidly looks like a good customer for us. And then about who are they? Where do they come from? They could be across the street, they could be across the country, but you need to know that. That's the only way, Philip, that you can make your ads relevant, is you knowing them. If you're trying to tell them the way they're supposed to be, that doesn't work. That also just shuts down communication. So let's look at those example reports. This is actually in Universal Analytics. You'll see me go between both. And again, I'll show you at the end. I can even do a real-time demo of how to access all of these. All right. So the example is in real time. See how it's showing what's happening in real time, what the active pages are that are actually bringing in all of the views and people actually spending time. So you see, if you did an email marketing and you highlighted a certain page because there's a new product you have there or a new service, now you can see if that's where people are actually going. You can also see who else is giving it, you know, bringing in the traffic. Who in social is bringing in? What are the keywords they're looking at? This will help you in ads, Philip, because if you just go with the popular keywords, you're going to be spending a lot of money. Go with the keywords that are popular with the best clients that you have, or even different phrases of them, because there's more than just one keyword. There are keyword phrases to look at. All right. So in real time, this is what it looks like if you are in Google Analytics 4, so that's GA4. Remember, you're looking at the whole person then, and it also tells you exactly what's happening in real time. So you see that the real-time report exists in both different formats of analytics. Now, acquisition, remember what I said, you can find out where they came from. Were they a referral from somebody else's site? Was it a CPC? That's cost per click. That means that's an ad. So CPC means that's an ad. Was it organic, meaning they are shopping for, in Eva and Ricky's case, they're shopping for t-shirts, not specifically Eva and Ricky's t-shirt shop. When you look at the direct is what you're looking for, or none. So I don't see any direct here, but if there was direct, that meant they put in Eva and Ricky's t-shirt shop exactly, not just t-shirt shops in general. Okay, I know website platforms have analytics. So how did Google Analytics different? Oh, Google Analytics is telling you how the search engine sees it. Okay, it's not just the website. It gives you the whole everything. So it's not specific to one particular platform, and it's free. So I like to look at all tools because I like to look at every angle, Emily, from where somebody is and what different tools present me to get a better understanding and be that expert in the customer. Okay, I really like to know what they're doing and making it easier for them to buy from me. Remember what I said, buy means conversion action, right? Engage sessions, what are they engaging in? Where do they spend time? Are they looking at that video? Did they watch 5 seconds of it? 3 seconds? 3 seconds is not a commitment. Know that even in socials, we can easily do this as we're scrolling on a mobile device, press on something we don't mean to, grab out. That's not it. That's not a true view. 10 seconds means there's a little bit more commitment there. All right, so what's happening here? What pages are they looking at? What actual device are they using? And if you do have on your site the ability for them to do e-commerce, what are they purchasing? Where are they spending time? I like to look at what the average order value is to see who abandons at checkout, who abandons at cart, because at cart is one thing, but at checkout, it means it has to do something with payment plan. In fact, a lot of times I will put different kind of payment plans, especially given some of the different inflation rates across the world, putting a lot of different payment plans in there at the checkout so we don't have people abandon at checkout, okay? All right, and then know how loyal your customers are. Are they keeping coming back? How often do they come back? That's really wonderful to see the customer journey. That's one of my favorite things to look at because now I can align with them and message at the right time. I can say, you know what, you just took the kiddos to school and you're worried about this. Not to worry because we have this. We know at that point when they come back in 1 month after their first purchase, now they're about to make their second purchase, and this is the kind of decisions that they're making. So again, knowing their customer journey, it shows that we can help anticipate some of the things they're going to experience. We can relieve fear by giving them information and be seen as a trusted advisor, a great business, because we help make it easy for them, okay? All right. No worries, no worries. When we create an account, do we link our website? Yes, absolutely, you do. And I can show you that afterwards. I can actually walk you through an actual demo. I'm going to save that to the end because it gets a little bit lengthy, and I don't want to keep anybody because I know we're busy business people, and I will end on time, but I will save that to the end. And as long as somebody's asking questions, I'm going to still hang out, okay? Demographics of who is actually coming to your website, know who's this, know who they are, know what interests that they have, so you have an idea of who they are. So this is what Eva and Ricky saw, okay? They saw, and what they thought were, it was women 35 to 44 years old who were actually coming in who had purchased before. But what they actually found was their top audiences were men, 25 to 34. The primary driver of traffic was organic, so it wasn't their ad. So they probably need to spend more time on blogging and guest posts, really put some things into their SEO, search engine optimization, as opposed to ads, because the ads aren't performing for them, or they need to change the ads because the ads are targeted at 35 to 44 years old, and it's a 25 to 34-year-old male. Concerns and comments and the language and video that they'll look at is a whole lot different. Plus, they were first-time visitors. So you can't just say, well, remember when you picked this color and you have this in stock, or you have this in your account? To somebody brand new, this is just totally foreign to them. They have no idea how to navigate your site. So all of their ads and all of their posts and content and videos could be speaking to the wrong target. So some of the advanced features that you can see in Google Analytics, because you can really take a deep dive in there, is you can come up with dimensions. So what dimensions are is that's a lens with which you see things. So for example, let's say I did business all over the world, United States specifically, and I wanted to find out how many people are in Oklahoma. Better yet, I want to know how many people are in Durant, Oklahoma, okay? So that is a lens that I want to put in front of there. I only want to focus on Durant, Oklahoma, or maybe I want to focus in Bay City, Texas. That's all I'm going to focus on. I want to know how many people are coming to my site from that geographic location. That's a dimension. So secondary dimension could be, I want to see people who are coming to the site in Durant, Oklahoma. The secondary dimension is on a mobile phone. I want to know that. So people on a mobile phone coming from Durant, Oklahoma, I want to know what they're searching for. What are they doing on my site? Okay. There's also those secondary dimensions, what it looks like. So this is what it looks like when you're laying that out in Google Analytics. I would encourage you when you get a copy of the slides to spend some time here so you know exactly how to lay that out. And also visit the link at the very first slide, which showed you how to access analytics, because there's a lot of practical tips and videos there to help you too. Okay, so you're going to put that in, you're going to plus that in to add different dimensions, that first dimension and then the secondary dimension. Oh, you're very welcome. I will definitely do a demo, but I'll do that at the end, okay? So hang out with me. Now, how to use segments? Segments are, let's say we want to see our lenses, everybody in Durant, Oklahoma, who uses a mobile device to come see our site, and then the segment could be that are women 25 to 34 years old, okay? So that's the segment. That relates to who that audience is, all right? Or maybe it's people in Durant, Oklahoma, who came in on a mobile device, who just bought an SUV in the last 6 months, okay? So it could be that specific that I'm looking for. I can get to those segments. That's what I love about data. So you can use explorations to really see what data is accessible to you and what matters to your customer, to you, the growth of your business. That's why it's really important for you to smart test your goals, because once you get in here, this can be overwhelming. You could just be so happy, all this information, and now you're at the state of analysis to the state of paralysis. You can do nothing with it. You can apply nothing to your business because you're overwhelmed. Go very focused, know the questions that you need to answer to be able to complete your goals. That'll help you look at what reports that you need in here to build. And once you do that, now you'll know exactly the answer to those questions, which just helps you become an expert in your customer and really get to know their decision journey. So how can you use analytics with Google Ads? Philip, right? I know you've been wanting this. So what you can do is you can link Google Analytics with Google Ads, which is what I like to do. And here's the reason. It's not just to get better insights into analytics or ads. It's also to tell Google that I am a viable business, okay? Understand every Google tool, and analytics is free, ads is free. You can link it for free. You don't have to get an ad. You don't even have to put a payment form in there to get an ad, and you could still use things like the free keyword planner or test things out and get to learn what those keywords are that people are looking for. That'll help you instead of you having to buy some sort of keyword tool to do that. That's already free at your fingertips with your free personal Gmail or Google account. So link the two together. When you are using a Google tool and it links together, you see Google's the #1 search engine in the world because all the information is correct. You know, the more correct information that we have, the better. The only people that have the correct information, though, are the actual business people, the business owners, right? So if you can link your site with Google Analytics and now Google Ads, this is confirming and pinging the algorithm that, wow, you know, this stuff is confirmed. It's the same here. It's the same over here. Wow, it's the same on YouTube. And they also have Google Search Console, which is telling them about the health of their site. So that's connected. And then we also have Google Merchant Center and shopping. All of this is linking, and it's telling Google, you know what? Viable business. What happens when we know you're a viable business is you now shoot up higher on search, which is what you want, because nobody looks past the first page of an organic Google search. Know that every Google search page comes back with 10 organic results. You'll see ads at the top. Those are paid positions, but 10 organic, you can only earn it, and you have to be on the first page to even be considered a viable business in business. So you have to show up there. So understand that linking this together helps you all the way around in doing that. And we want that visibility, especially in the race for visibility with our clients or potential customers. So what you do when you link is, if you're in your Google Analytics account, you will see the admin side, and I will show you how to get there by clicking on the gear icon, but you will see to the Google Ads listing, you're going to actually link all of that here. So that's Google Ads linking, actually. So you're going to do that, but you need to be in the administrator side. If you are not in the administrator side, you are not going to be able to get to this. So it's really important that you have that. If you are the owner of the business, you are the administrator. You are everything. You are the ultimate super admin, and you want to be that, okay? If you're working with an agency and you don't have that, you only have standard access, tell them you want admin access. You own your business, no one else. Doesn't matter who created that for you. You need to be the admin and the primary owner of everything, every one of these tools. All right, so let's finish up with recaps and resources, because I covered a lot of stuff today, right? A lot of detail. I tried to make sure that it was as specific as you needed, but I know there's lots of questions because I see them in the question box, and I will address those. So where you're going to go from here is first do the non-sexy stuff, right? It is that you've got to outline your goals. SMART, test them: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, timely. You have to know all 5 of those and test every goal. I'm sorry, I wish it was a lot easier than that, but there is no other way to shortcut that. But do know that if you don't do that, you're going to spend a lot of time and money trying to do things with your website that are built on shifting sand, and it's just going to be a whole lot of cost for chaos. Do know what questions then you have after you see your goals. Where do you have the holes? Where do you need to fill in to get to know your customer better or get to know what they're doing on your site better? Now you can start choosing the tools. Do you need a full report? Do you need just certain dimensions and segments? And you can now measure and apply those insights to actually what you're doing, okay? Now, I see some questions here. So first thing first, before we get into questions, as I do want to share this with you. This is Google Primer. It's a free app that you can download on your Android in the Google Play Store or on your iPhone in the iOS or the App Store. It gives you a lot of good lessons there if you want to take a deeper dive on different things about Google Analytics that I didn't cover here in detail. So go there because it's a free tool. Again, you don't have to be connected to the internet once it's downloaded. I like to do this when I'm waiting on somebody or when I'm traveling because it's a nice, easy read and it keeps me up to date. All right, let me look at some of the questions here. Before I do that, let me take a quick drink. Hold on. Sorry about that. I told you I was in the dust storm earlier. I think I just fluffed my hair or did something, but I just got a whole bunch of dust. Probably carrying it in myself. All right, let me see what the questions are. One more tool. Google Career Certificates. If you're not aware of this, I do want to make you aware of this. If you have a business and you have an EIN number, so that's a employer number, okay? If you're paying any taxes, you're doing any payroll, you have an employee number. If you will go here, Google is giving away thousands of free scholarships to get a career certificate in many things. One of them is digital marketing and e-commerce. Now, some you have to pay for, okay, to get these, but do know that this is recognized by some of the top employers and universities. So this is something to take a look at. While you're looking at that, let me look at the questions before I turn off the video, just in case they're questions that are in general for everybody. So let's see, I don't have a business website. Can I still look at Google Analytics? No, you do need a business website to do that. So you cannot use like Etsy, you do have to have your own website. Now do know that Google has Google Sites. So Google Sites are 100% free and you can use that to create a website. So, or you can use the free website in your Google business profile. So you have both of those available. And I like to use them anyway, because anytime that I can dominate and be on the first 10 searches of an organic Google search and point them back to my main site is good. It's better in the race for visibility to have 2 or 3 horses in there to capture somebody's attention, right? Let me see, once we create an account and link our website with analytics immediately appear, or will we have to wait? Usually it takes a little bit of time, 24 hours. Do know that it's still gonna take you more time for it to start collecting from your website, but it does collect from the minute you link it on. Now, do know that happens with Google Analytics 4 from the minute also. So both those, Universal Analytics and Google Analytics 4, once you link it together, it starts recording from that standpoint and tracking your data. Google Analytics, Universal Analytics will actually give you some history back, really. So it'll take a look at that, okay? But GA4 just starts from when you actually connect it. For clarification, did you say that if I link my Google Analytics with Google Ads for free, that'll help our organic search results? Yes, because it does help, because it's now confirming to Google that you are a real viable business. That's 2 Google tools saying, you know what, this information matches with this information, and now they're connected. That business is probably presenting great information. They're a real business. Oh wow, they've got, you know, Google Search Console here, and they've got a Google site, and they've got YouTube too, which YouTube's also owned by Google. So now you start confirming all these things, which just gives the search engine confidence that when somebody is searching for information that you have or that they're looking for that matches what you're presenting, now you will show up higher. Okay, makes sense? All right, and also I actually encourage people to do that when they're doing Google Ads, because it helps bring down your cost per click when Google's confirming left and right, because it's just bringing you more in organic search. So it really helps all the way around when you link all Google tools. Do you have any advice on where to create a website? Dana, it really depends on what your website is going to do. Let me finish up here real quick, okay? Because now I'm getting into more personal questions. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to call you out when I'm recording it. All right, let me finish one more thing and then I'll get into other questions. All right, you can continue your education by going here, Google on Air. These are the Partner Digital Series that shows up every quarter, and we cover different things there. Plus, there's also some pre-recorded workshops. So feel free to visit this URL too. And lastly, if you see anything else that you want or you're thinking whether or not there's something available, you can go to google.com/grow and find out what your Google partner can assist you with. And they are really the people who are vested in your own success, and they're right there for you locally. So I encourage you to reach out to them. They truly want you to do well, and that's what they've partnered with Google to do, so they can also make requests for you. What's nice is they have access to the partner community. Every Tuesday and Thursday from 12 to 2 o'clock Eastern time, they have access directly to the Google partner team, which is great because now they can ask direct questions that maybe are taking you a long time to get an answer. So do reach out to the Google partner who invited you. And I know some of you have asked if you want to see and how to connect with me and find me on socials. I told you Twitter and Instagram. I'm actually on all socials. This is where you can find me, and you can find out any webinars that I'm doing. Okay, so let me go back here now, and I'm going to stop the recording like I promised.